Hello everyone, welcome to the Hisui podcast. I'm Wolf Tyke, and I'm here with King85 and Nurse Evie.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
So yeah, today we're going to be continuing talking about the Insert Name Jam games. I don't know how many more episodes we'll do of them. I feel like we both made a lot of progress talking about them and not at the same time.
Well, what games haven't we even talked about yet? Like, I feel like we've talked about a majority of the games at this point.
We haven't talked about Peppermint, Rhapsody, Ranger Star, Recollections. Have we talked about Hibernation? I think we have. Detective Haven.
We haven't talked about Detective Haven?
I don't think so. Well, because I've talked so much about these games outside of the podcast that I can't remember which times I talked about it in the podcast, or if it was like somewhere else that I talked about them.
I just haven't been in the podcast, so I don't even know what games you've talked about. Also, shout out, Hunter and Raymond is the game of the day on EV Expo. I just saw that.
Yeah, I mean, I can look at our previous
Please don't play
episodes and see. We've done Supernova, Smoke and Salt, Pokemon Cast. What other ones did we do last episode? We started Ranger Star in the last day. That was it. Yeah, we haven't talked about majority of the games.
The last day was kind of a banger, honestly.
It was wild. I loved it.
It was wild. But yeah, so we can... The main ones we'll talk about today is Ranger Star and Rhapsody. But we can also try and talk through some of the other smaller ones that we've played through. Assuming that Ethy's played through them already. Because I know he's planning on playing through some of them this coming week.
Yeah, this week's gonna be me finishing up as many of the jam games as I can, especially if I can finally finish Peppermint, but I don't know.
How much have you played through Peppermint?
I've put like at least... You're asking me questions I don't remember the answer to.
I put like 1 hour into it yesterday on stream, and I'm like, there's no way I'm finishing this game, like, at all. I just don't have time. Like, I'm going to. I don't know if I can do it on stream, though.
Let's see, those streams
I don't know how I'm going to finish it, because I'm going to be out of town majority of next week.
2.5 hours. So I've put in at least... I'm gonna say roughly 3 hours, and I've gotten not very far at all.
Fun!
Like, I can go and battle a boss.
Well, I know what the bosses are.
Me, I don't.
I can battle Regirock. I've unlocked Regirock. And that's all.
Wow, thank you for the spoilers.
It's even in my thumbnail, so...
Yeah, the only ones I haven't played are Recollections, Peppermint, and Minior the Fallen Star. Or the 3 I got left.
I'd say go ahead and start playing through Peppermint, because that game absolutely kicked my ass. Apparently really kicked Tom's ass.
Yeah, well, it was funny, because, like, I played, the mid-jam demo. I don't remember how difficult I found it. But, I mean, it was very much proof of concept of some ideas, and there wasn't as much content from what I remember. At least available. And I don't think that's the case anymore, from what I've heard.
I feel like I'm really scared because the way that not to get too far into Peppermint, but like the way I started playing is like how I imagine I would play like Salt and Shadow, and like just try and maximize squeeze every drop out of every day you can have, and I'm just like,
yeah,
like, will I be able to beat the game in like a more optimal way? Yes. Is it gonna take longer? Absolutely.
Yeah, we can talk about Peppermint once we've all finished it one of these days. Yeah. But I guess let's start off, because we've already talked a bit about Ranger Star, so now that Kane's here and Ethy, you finished Ranger Star, right?
Me?
No, I forgot.
Ethy.
I genuinely forgot.
Come on, Ethy.
Nice.
Okay, so we're not gonna finish talking about Ranger Star. Okay, what jam games have you played then, Ethy, so far? And finished.
Played and finished.
Or at least, like, played enough that you're like, we can talk about it.
I mean, like, I've only played what I've streamed plus the last day in cast.
Well, okay, I don't remember what
So
you streamed.
Rhapsody, Peppermint, Smoke and Salt, and Supernova.
Oh. Okay, so we may just start talking about some games that you haven't played then. Or else we are only going to be talking about Rhapsody. Which, I mean,
Have
it's
you not
one
even
of the
played
longer
Ekans
games
Eater?
of the jam, but apparently not.
I didn't hear Kate's question, I'm sorry.
Huh? Oh, have you not played
You haven't
Ekans
even
Eater?
played Ekans Eater.
Oh, no, I haven't. I know there's a bunch of, like, really short games, and I don't know how long,
Ekans Eater took me like 45 minutes.
It doesn't even
Okay.
take 45 minutes if you don't want it to.
No. And
maybe I just got
what are
lucky.
the other small ones? Detective Hatham's like an hour.
Yeah.
Recollections, from what I've heard, is really short.
It is very short. You literally finish it in like 20 minutes.
Hibernation is like 30 minutes, if that.
Yeah, it depends.
Those are the main short ones that you haven't played. Anyway, so I guess we've all finished Rhapsody, so we can start talking with that.
Have you finished Rhapsody, Andy?
Yes. Yes, I have. Back in April? That was the due date? I think.
April, May, I don't know.
Yeah, April 25th. That was the due date. Yeah, back in April 25th. That's when I finished it. If you could call it finished.
I don't.
Yeah, I'll let you
I don't
guys talk
understand
first.
why you're shitting on the game, other than like it's very obviously a demo, and it's been very public about how much more content there was made for the game that didn't actually get into the game.
Yeah. I don't know, I'll let you guys talk first so that I can say my thoughts.
Ethy?
I had a good time. I had a good time with Rhapsody. And while yeah, there were some parts that, like, just one character that I felt kind of was a sexy lamp, and have debated
Which I
with
disagree
both about
with, but you
outside
know.
of yeah.
Wait, who?
We've debated about this.
He's saying
Reina.
Reina is just a sexy lamp and doesn't do anything as a character.
Like, they could have been replaced by like two.
They could have not existed.
Like, signposts, and could have gotten a similar result.
Well, but also,
Which-
like, I completely disagree, because the thing is, with the story, that is... Okay, fine, I'm gonna have to jump in with some of my thoughts. You forced my hand, Ethy!
I just had to use those two secret words.
Was sexy lamp?
Sexy lamp.
Yep. Well, because
That's
the
all I
thing
had to
is,
say.
which makes it kinda hard to judge the story of this game, just in general, all that there is to talk about at the moment is, like, everything up to, like, the inciting incident.
Yeah. Which, it's not a fair assessment of Reina or their character,
No.
because we
Definitely.
haven't seen enough from them yet.
It'd be like saying, I guess, yeah, Irina in Abstract, before you met her at any of the gyms, and she just made fun of the teacher, that she would be a sexy lamp.
Yeah.
Like, no, duh, it's you got the prologue of the game. Not
Yeah.
every character is gonna, like...
Not every character is going to immediately have an important role. Yes.
No.
But to have a named character that I didn't feel did much was, I guess, a choice. Not a bad choice. Definitely a choice that I wasn't expecting.
Yeah.
I don't know. You'll see if the game ever gets finished.
Yeah.
I like.
And I know.
Sorry,
I
go
know
ahead.
you're gonna come up with something good. If this game continues, I know it's gonna be good.
What were
Yeah.
you saying, Kay?
I just like. I don't know. My thoughts, like, now that I think about it, like, yeah, I guess obvious. Like, I knew Reina is like going to have. You can tell that like she's got like a personality. Not that like she.
Yes.
Like, I think Ethi is more talking about like the sexy street lamp. Was that what it was?
Sexy lamp.
Sexy
Just
lamp. Like I like in terms of mattering to the prologue of the story, supposedly. Yeah, sure. But you can kind of tell that like she's going to become more important in the story.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm like, okay, like obviously this is a demo. I don't really care. I like obviously the dynamic I care more about, and this is gonna come at no shock to anyone, is the dynamic between the dad and the daughter, because I don't know, I'm gonna say it. It feels very ECAT, family relationships.
Well, no, it was funny, Kate, because I wasn't at the beginning of the jam. I kind of had some general ideas with some plot ideas, but I had someone else in the team come up with like a plot pitch of like what the story is about, and they were the one who did like the father part of the story, and I was just like, I feel like you're asking me to write an ECAT story.
Look, I
Was
mean, like
my literal first thought.
it is an interesting dynamic, right? I like,
Oh yeah.
and I think this was like my favorite part of the game, was kind of examining that relationship between Nim and her dad, Nero.
Nim and Nero.
I got the names right. I can't believe that. And
Proud of you.
I understand it from both perspectives. Like, I understand like you wanting to be a parent and like being kind of that figure, and like I think what this whole entire thing is gonna boil down to is the dad's, like, what is the dad's motivation for this big paper thing and this big promotion? Is it to like provide for his family? Then okay, maybe it's a little bit more acceptable. Whereas if you're looking at it, if he just wants to become popular or like a renowned scientist, then that's very selfish. That's like less okay. And I think that like every time where I was like, Nim, your dialogue, you might be crossing a line here. You might be being a little too rude to your dad. The dad crosses the line way worse in like the next one. I'm like, oh my god, can we think before we speak? Like, first off, everything is not about you. Both of you. It's not about you. It's about both of you, not just one. Clearly neither of you believe that. And because you're playing as the daughter, and because the daughter is in a, like, I don't know, more vulnerable, less, like, advantageous position, being a child, not being a professor, being a woman, you're more inclined to, like, relate to her, and like, kind of agree with her side. But let's be clear, neither of them are in the right. And
what?
That's where this is going to become interesting.
Well, but honestly, for me, what was the most interesting and like fun parts for me to write were the interaction between like Reina and Nimbus.
Oh, absolutely, because Nimbus clearly has not, like...
It's not understand social efficacy, really.
Yeah, hasn't had... She hasn't had the canon event of, being let down or, like, having something bad happen with a stranger. Because there's, like, there's no filter whatsoever.
No.
And, like, honestly, like, respect, but that's gonna hurt you at some point.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, Nimbus and Reina. Well, especially because it was really fun to write them, because they are very different people.
Mm-hmm.
Which is always just very fun to write for. Whereas, well, it was also, like, generally harder to write the Nimbus and Nero stuff, because thankfully I haven't had many, like, huge issues with my family life.
Yeah.
And we hope and pray you never do.
So that was a little challenging, but I'm glad that it was interesting to you, okay? That means I did something right.
Well, yeah, I mean, I just love exploring these family dynamics. Not that I have, like, a bad family life, because I don't.
Well, yeah.
At least my close family, my extended family might be a little crazy, but, like, like, you can, like,
relate to that.
I think having, like, I don't know, it's just having that, like, because I have, like, a very close emotional connection to my family, so I can, like, I know what it, like, means. And, like, that's why, I don't know, stories about family have always been, like, my kind of, like, favorite thing. Because, like, I can really feel that emotion, like, process it. So, yeah, I think that, like, that's why I really liked it. Or, like, I can relate to it a lot.
Yeah, I guess, like, for my main two problems with Rhapsody and how it came out boil down to two things. The first thing's the pacing. Because, like the pacing of, like, the gameplay elements and the pacing of the story elements are very not in harmony with each other.
Expand on that.
Well, mainly, like, going back
I think
to
I know
the...
what you're, I think I know what you're trying to say, but yeah,
Well, because...
Go ahead.
Even though the story, all we've gotten is, like... We got introduced to the characters, and we have the inciting incident of, like, Nimbus now leaving her father. But the amount of actual gameplay that happens for just that amount of story is 2 hours. Like, there's just, like, a lot of long routes in between, not much story to connect between those long routes. I guess.
I mean, like, I can understand where you might have a problem with that, but I think at the same time, there are a lot of people who are probably okay with that, and I feel as though I'm gonna have to look at something before I make this point to make sure I'm not, before I, like, shoot myself in the foot. But, like, for the amount of games in this jam that are, like, there's not a game that has really hit, like, a really good mix of, like, story versus, like, gameplay content, in my opinion, especially in a Pokemon respect. I thought it was nice to have, like, I thought this game did have good like, okay pacing compared to, like, other games.
Well, but if you compare it to Evan's other stuff that I've worked on, or, like, me and Nan work on together, like,
I'm not comparing. If I'm comparing it to other games, sure, like, I understand that, because, like, in Abstract you do have, like, not an inciting incident per se, but, like,
the introductions are done within the first, like, 20 minutes.
Yeah, the intro is done, and if you're just telling me this, like, what we played in Rhapsody is the intro, then, like, yeah, I understand. But I guess I didn't view it as like the inciting incident. I assumed the inciting incident was the hot air balloon crashing on the
Yeah, I mean, there's kind of two inciting incidents, I guess.
That's kind of what I was kind of feeling too.
So, I mean, like, maybe if we go on to play this game and, like, there's only, like, 6 more hours until the game is done, and then, like, the inciting incident happens 2 hours in, then, like, yeah, that's, like, you're throwing 2 hours away, basically. But, like, I feel like it's not gonna be that. I don't know. Like, it's like, also, to have the inciting incident, I feel like, I don't know, you needed to have the soul trek. You needed to have the dad get lost. Now, could the distance between the soul trek, or like, distance between when you leave the first town and get to the soul trek be less? Sure. But you also, like, the mapping was incredible, so it didn't really bug me. And also the, like, idea on, like, that second map before the soul trek with, like, the wind, that was a really, really cool and interesting idea. So I thought, I was mad that I couldn't go back, and, like, even when you go back after you do the soul trek, you still can't like, the wind is still there even though the storm has gone away. But, like, that's still a very interesting idea in exploring the map. So, I think, like, in terms of maybe the story content wasn't there, okay. But there is gameplay content. There is other content for you to, like, see.
Yeah.
No, and I mean, my other main issue with the game, in its release date, is the polish is, not exactly there, in my opinion. Entirely.
I mean,
it's weird, because, like, the polish is there in some aspects of the game. And then you can see the other parts where it's like, oh, they clearly didn't have time to do that.
I mean, it's a jam game.
Yeah.
Not every jam game is going to have all of the polish that you expect of a completed game, and I do think that's some of where you're a little overly harsh on yourself in this one.
Maybe, but it just feels very... how do I phrase it?
Because this is still a good game. This is still, like, I still had fun. I didn't waste 2 hours of my life playing a game that I'm going to end up hiding from my channel in, like, the next 6 to 12 months.
Have you done that before? Oh, no, you have.
Yes, I have.
Yes. But, I mean...
And not just, like, it's not just a Minecraft video that I streamed for a few hours, it didn't do very well, and I said, you know what, I'm just going to take this down.
But no, I mean... Yeah, I may be a bit hard on myself. It's also very frustrating because, I mean, as Kane said before, there is a lot of content that got made that wasn't in the finished project. Like, let me count how many. That's one route, that's a town, that's another route, that's a cave, that's another route. There's that area, there's a city, there's a whole castle I mapped, there were all these indoor houses, the story rooms for that dungeon, there was another city, there was that route, there was that cave, there was that town, there was that route, that town, that route, that route, that route.
You were ready to make a full game, and this wasn't full game time.
No, I mean, there's so much stuff that got made that just, like...
So much stuff that got made that's ready for the full release when it comes out in 2026.
Yeah. Another, I guess, nitpicky thing is, like, the emotional status effects. I felt like...
I had no idea what they were.
I didn't know what
Yeah.
they were, and like allegedly
They're not really
they were doing
introduced to the
something.
player at
Yeah,
all. They're just
I just
there.
rolled with it.
No, I'm saying they're not introduced, and that's a
Oh.
problem. They're just
Yeah.
there. They're not explained. They're not introduced. They're just there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I just rolled with it. I'm like, okay, I'm not burned. I won't complain about not being burned. My
Well, I got
No,
sand
yeah.
physical
attacked, and I
attack
was like,
not lowered.
I'm aggressive now. What does that mean?
You're angry, okay? You're angry.
I feel like
I
that
was
would just raise
angry.
my critical hit. Like if I'm angry, I'm gonna hit you harder and more critically.
So
Mm.
here, let me. I know we have a document which had like an explanation of like what each of them do and all the moves that cause them anger. So it was supposed to have the afflicted ignore the trainer's orders.
Like a chance
Supposed
to
to.
do that, or like just next turn?
It's supposed to last 2 to 4 turns.
Yeah, I
And
didn't
AI
have that problem.
prioritizes idea.
Yeah, I don't think I had that either.
Yeah. So I
Wait, so it just
though-
wouldn't listen to you a 100% chance, or like?
I don't know. I did not code him. Crying lowers the user's move accuracy by 25%, and the user takes 25% more damage from direct attacks. Well, but also, like, some of these are also so specific, like that one, where, like, because with normal Pokemon status effects, I feel like even if you're not told specifically what they do, you can figure it out just by, like, it happening. Like, burn, oh, after every turn, I get some damage taken away from me. You can kind of figure out for yourself. You cannot figure out for yourself that crying lowers your move accuracy by 25%, and you take 25% more damage from direct attacks. You just can't figure that out.
No, like the accuracy thing, I guess, because like okay,
Maybe?
it's hard to land a hyper beam when I'm crying and my eyes are full of tears. I guess.
Yeah? But no, that's generally my thoughts on Rhapsody. Though there was something you said in your stream, Cade, that I kind of agree with, which was you liked kind of the visual motif of like the hot air balloon and like the floating islands.
Yeah. Great. Love that idea. That concept, fire.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
I definitely think it's different because especially it gives the opportunity of like it gives that opportunity for the player and their dad to be outsiders, and the whole thing with the soul trek being very like this very sacred thing that is able to keep peace in the region. I think that's a really unique idea that I'd love to see. I can't wait to see more of.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I know Nan's wanting to continue like working on the project, finishing it. I don't know where I stand because I have Starfall to work on and Doki Doki Pokemon Club and maybe the Summer Jam if I choose to do that, but most likely not.
Thought you were done doing jams.
Yeah, what happened?
You know,
to,
I thought that too.
What happened to stepping back from the fan game community?
It's gonna happen one of these days. But yeah. So yeah, Nand is planning on continuing working on the project, so it will get finished.
Nice.
What will it look
Forward
like?
to it.
I don't know. But it will get finished. Yeah, for other stuff, we can probably talk about... Okay, what game are you not planning on playing this week, Ethan? Because I don't want to, like, spoil something and then feel bad.
This week I'm playing Peppermint, Minior the Fallen Star, and Recollections.
Oh, okay, so we can talk about Detective Haven.
Wait.
Yeah.
You're gonna need a second game for that recollection stream.
Yeah, I put in my tweet. We'll go through some of the games that are only like 15 minutes or so if I end up finishing early.
You could do Hatham, Eckenzeder. You already did the last day, right?
Yeah. You can do...
Well, and I'm sure you'll have other games that you haven't finished. You could go back to Peppermint, go back to Minior the Fallen Star if you want, because you're not going to finish that in one stream.
Good.
Probably not.
But yeah, so Detective Hatham. I feel like I've mostly talked my piece in many different places before, so I'll let Cade mostly talk about Detective Hatham.
Oh, so Detective Hatham was the first game I played from this jam? So I'm going back to the stream to see actually what my actual thoughts were. When did I stream this game? Over a month ago, May 2nd. I love detective games. I love mysteries. I don't know why.
And I feel like it's become a new trend in the fan game community, like making mystery games.
Yeah. Ashen Frost is showing its influence. I think it's... I think it was from what I remember, from what sticks in my mind right now. The game is really cool. Was the game gameplay quite there? No. But everything was really good. The story, the mystery was really good, except for the bomb part. The bomb mini game was very confusing, and when I played it, it wasn't actually programmed correctly. So I just got lucky.
Oh no.
So
I guessed correct. Well, I guessed wrong, but it was correctly in the way that it was programmed, so I just went, hey, I'll take it.
Yeah.
No, for me, I think it's one of the better mystery Pokemon attempts that I've seen. I think it doesn't quite strike the balance correctly with how they deal with some of the darker tone stuff they deal with in the story while still making it like the Pokemon world. I felt like they didn't do it in a way that felt natural.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was just me.
I can understand that.
Especially because the Pokemon in it. I almost forgot it was a Pokemon world in some moments. In most moments. And then sometimes a Pokemon would show up and I'm like, oh right, there are Pokemon in this world. Other than that, with my problems with the story, it's harder for me to like verbalize them. Because, well, also, one thing to keep in mind, when I played this game, I played it during its initial release, when it first, like, uploaded, and the way it uploaded that day was, it skipped you straight to the ending, so I came in only for the bomb part, and then I just hit the credits.
Oh, well, yeah, then you're removing all of the fun parts of the game. The idea of, I don't know.
But I did go back and play it once I was told that was not the whole game. I was like, it's not?
Yeah,
I'm like, no wonder the mystery made no sense. Because I just showed up and they were just like, oh ho ho, I'm the bad guy. And I'm like...
Yeah.
Well, this is one way to write a mystery, I guess.
Yeah, that is kind of spoilery, but...
I
guess not. Because you don't actually know who the bad guy is.
Yeah, no, you don't know anything.
But
it was spoilers for me.
Spoilers on the dev part, like...
Oh, yeah.
You just walk in, the guy's like, oh, I'm the bad guy! Oh. We're not even gonna make me guess? You're just gonna... Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know, there's some really cool, like, mystery elements in this game, though. Like, I like the ability to, like, walk around a room and, like, pick apart the crime scene at, like, at your own pace and, like, as you want to do.
Yeah.
I'm too thorough, so I don't know what would happen if you didn't uncover everything.
It wouldn't let
Does
you
it force you to
proceed.
uncover everything or
I'm
what?
pretty sure.
But like I like that. I like the two, like, the clue matching is a little clunky because there's like a few things where I was like,
It is.
like, yeah, I could match these two together, I can match these two together, and like they could tell me different
Both,
things. But like there's only one set thing that you have to match together. Like, sure,
Or
that's
what's
a little
even worse
clunky.
is like you can connect some things and then they would ultimately say the same thing.
Yeah. But like I like that idea. I think if you made it a little bit more, like, I guess, flexible, right? Where you can match different clues together to have different outcomes, and then, like, I don't know, being a mystery game and like having you to come to your own conclusion. I think it'd be really interesting if you, like, could have, oh, you didn't do it correctly, and like you can still keep going on under false assumptions or something like that. Like, I know that's really difficult to do. And then also, I don't know, so like there's that. There's also, like, I don't know, you examining the crime scene, and then like the database things. I don't know. I thought it was all like really interesting, and I think like this is
there
a
were
really
lots
cool,
of cool things.
yeah, a lot of cool, like,
But
proof of concept things that like could be very well, like, made into a different game and like be super polished.
yeah, like I like a lot of those stuff, but it was more I guess the way they told the story of the mystery I found a little lacking. Especially like kinda like what EP said, it's just like, oh, this guy's just like the person who did it, okay. Like it didn't really feel that rewarding. Maybe it was just because I skipped straight to the ending.
I
Not of
think
my
it
wishes,
was,
but
I think it is a little bit like that. It was
like I would have liked it if we had like multiple different culprits that we kind of like switched between as the case
yeah,
went on,
that
and
is
we're like,
that
ooh, it
is the
could be this
problem.
person. Yeah.
That is the problem, because even though you were just brought in right at the end, like, sure, there were a couple other people introduced, but it was like, it was pretty obvious who who the culprit was, like, pretty early on. And then there's like the classic, like, there's the classic, like, evil villain, like, monologue type thing, like, at the end. And I'm like, okay, this isn't quite necessary. But like, I don't know. I know I'm like kind of bashing on it, but like this, I actually think this is a really good game.
Another thing that I guess stood out to me was I found like maybe the dialogue was a little clunky in some areas, just in like the way that people talked. And I get that they were trying to mimic and mirror sort of the almost film noir detective murder mystery style of people talking. Is kind of what I got from it. But I felt like even for that, it just felt weird. I don't know what specifically to point to. It just kind of...
Yeah, it's been a while since I played the game, so I don't quite remember, like, the dialogue. I don't really remember the dialogue style being clunky. It was clear enough to get what needed to be communicated, but...
Maybe because they talk too much. And because of that, I would, like, zone out of dialogue. And maybe it's a personal thing, but, like, I would zone out of dialogue because there would just be too much dialogue, and then I wouldn't, like, be able to pick up what I was supposed to, like, pick up. Because there would just be, like, too much long stretches of text.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, that was my, thing with Haytham. Most of my problems come down to, like, the story and the writing. But, like... visually, I really liked it. I really liked a lot of the gameplay elements. I even liked the bomb. I know Kate does not like the bomb. I don't like how the bomb wasn't, like, coded correctly, but I like the bomb.
Well, like, the idea is cool, I guess. Like, I felt like there were a few, like, I guess the idea of, like, the bomb is cool. And I like the guide with, like, very, like, the guide was very logical and, like, if then. The only problem I had with the guide, I think, is that fucking quadruple Venn diagram was so confusing. But other than that...
Well, it was also taken from You Can't Keep Talking to Nobody Explodes.
Yeah.
The guide.
Other than that, I think it was...
And I like that.
Good,
so
and,
like, ooh, cool.
It worked very good in my, like, programmer brain. Like, I don't know, it was very aesthetically pleasing to me in my programmer brain. But I think my problem is yeah, in the execution. Like, obviously it's not coded correctly, but I think another problem with the bomb is that, like, this is kind of another programmer thing. I took a whole UI class. There's not enough feedback when you do something with the bomb. There's not enough feedback to know, like, okay, like, I want feedback. I want to know if I'm fucked or if I'm on the right track. And there just
I mean,
is
there's
not
the little,
that
like, green
feedback
circles that are next
Yeah.
to, like, 2758, but I also don't know what the 2758 is.
Exactly, and we don't know what those things mean. It's not, like, obviously it's a bomb, so it's not supposed to, like, be easy to read. But also, like, you'd like to have, I think, just generally for, like, an accessibility sakes, a little bit more feedback there.
Mm.
No, yeah. I did enjoy Hatham, especially a lot more the second time around when I didn't just go straight to the ending. Definitely changed the experience quite a bit. But it also makes it kind of hard to not look at it unbiasedly, unfortunately, when it comes to, like,
Fair.
some of my issues with it. But yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we can talk about, you're not playing Hibernation. We can talk about Pokemon Hibernation. Especially because, even if we talk about it, I don't think we're gonna spoil anything. Oh wait, no, I wouldn't say we did talk about Hibernation. Let me look at the user bulletin, because I know we said which games we talk about in there. Because we talk about Smoke and Salt. We may have not. Yeah, we just talked about Supernova. I think we just talked about Hibernation a lot before playing it. Maybe when I'm remembering. Okay, we can talk about Pokemon Hibernation. It won't take long either. I don't know, do you want to start, Kate?
Sure, I mean, this is like the second... This might have been the first game I played, actually. I didn't play it on stream. This was also one of the games I played in, like, the mid-jam segment, and I do, like, they did make, like, a lot of the improvements that I, like, recommended. So I do have to respect that, but there's also, like... I don't know. The game, it's, like, kind of a meh game for me. There's not, like, things explicitly, like, that bad with it. I'd like to think because they made a lot of my recommended improvements. Until, like,
wow,
the end,
really patting
when
yourself
I think...
on the back there.
I know, I am. I need it today. It's been a long day. But then, like, the final battle, like, I don't know. The thing that has upset me most is, like, oh yeah, the game can be completed in, like, 15 minutes. The record's, like, 7. And I'm like, okay, well, that's because the two devs played through the game, so they know exactly what Pokemon to catch and how to beat the final boss. Like, the game took me, like, I don't know, a half an hour to beat because, like, I had to go grind and catch new Pokemon to beat the final boss.
I don't think I needed to grind, it was just dialogue. And, like, going through some maps took some time, but, like... I don't know, for me, the highlight of the game was the fake mon designs.
Oh,
and,
absolutely.
Like, the custom spriting.
Absolutely. So,
Like, I love all the, like, fake mon regional variant designs. Like, those were great.
I
There's,
wish
like-
they had showed them off more in the screenshots, because I haven't seen them yet.
There's,
You
like,
see
the
the icons
Litwick
in the screenshots.
one.
Yeah, I only see
But I can...
those.
There's one other one
think
other than the
those-
Litwick one, right? I forget what the other one
There was the
was.
main key. Here, I can show you a picture of them. If I find them.
I can't open the game because the game has audio and I'm recording.
I can't. Okay. Too many uploads. Frick you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, so some of these we didn't even see in the game.
I'm gonna say I only remember 2 regionals, maybe 3.
So, but these are all the ones I found in the files. But the main 2 that 3 actually, there was the Tyrant, the yellow, like, electric Tyrant, the Psychic Mankey, and the Candle Litwick.
Yeah. Though, I don't think
Wait,
the
Litwick's
Tyrant
always
is
a candle.
obtainable, right? I think the Tyrant, or was the
I
Tyrant
remember
obtainable
seeing
in the cave?
It may have been. I think you at least fight it.
I know you fight it because I know the final
Yeah,
boss
so
has
you
it.
see it. Yeah. But no, for me, the strongest point were these, like, regional variant designs. I mean, they just look amazing.
Absolutely. They look so
the-
good.
Ooh.
And the weakest point for me was probably be the writing and the dialogue specifically. It's something really hard to do. It's like really, really hard to write believable, realistic, natural sounding dialogue while also being entertaining to read. So it's not like I'm bashing them. I struggle with it so much. I mean, heck, if you look at some of my own dialogue,
That's why I hired Wolf to write my lore video.
I mean, you didn't hire me. I just asked if I could do it.
I paid you in exposure. You were hired.
Okay. Can't wait for Twitter to get a hold of it. It's like, VTuber hires minor to write for their lore video.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Damn! Andy, are you not 18 yet? I thought you were 18.
No, July
Next
7th.
month.
Oh god damn,
Next
we
month.
still have a child on this.
We still have a child in this
We
podcast.
still have a child on this podcast.
We still have a
Damn.
child. Yeah. No, not there yet. I'm almost there, though. Especially getting closer as the days go by, because I'm now not in high school. So we no longer have a high schooler on the podcast, at least.
Yeah. That's crazy. You finished high school before you turn 18. So I remember
Yeah.
going to like college and being at like my first college like football game. And like you're in like the student section and like everybody's drinking. Like it doesn't matter if you're 21 or not. And like I like started talking to the people next to me and it was like the first game, so like all the freshmen who are still like in welcome week get to go for free. And like I was talking to like other people who I was with who were like also freshmen. And there were like multiple people who were like, "Yeah, I'm 17." I'm like, what are you doing?" Like I was 18. So like I can't really talk. But like I'm like, "What?" Like I'm only 1 year older than you, but you're still a child. Like leave.
When I'm in college, I'll be 18. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
Where?
Yeah, that's such a foreign concept to me because I went to a very... What's the right... what's the right way for me to describe the school I
no.
went to? The people at my school were very the thought of partying or hearing about people having problems because a party was too loud next to the dorms or something, non-existent.
Damn.
Oh.
Like,
So you lucked out.
yeah. Like, there's...
Nah, you gotta enjoy college, man. Come on now.
I don't know. I'll see when I'm in college. When
I didn't
think
like
about parties or
I
not.
well, I don't know. Some parties are fun. Some parties are dumb. You just gotta figure out which ones are
I
which.
can't say the acronym, so I'd like to prevent doxing myself. There was like an acronym.
Is that literally
that
its
call it.
name? Oh, okay.
No,
Good. I thought you were
what
saying
we
that's
call-
the name of the
That's
college.
what
I'm
we
like,
no, but it like same letters.
Oh, that's so funny.
Still, U letter University of,
oh.
and kept the same letters.
That's
It's like,
so funny.
No, it doesn't stand for. It means this, and it really did. It really held up to its name.
That's
I did not
crazy.
go to- I went to a very like non-party kind of school where it's like you show up, you get your stuff done, you leave.
Gotcha.
Well, so during like welcome week for like freshmen, when I was like in the dorms, there was like an ambulance at our dorm like every night. It was bad. And like I didn't even go to that big of a party school. Anyways, sorry. I
Yeah.
did just distract a lot.
We did. It's fine. But yeah, other jam games we can talk about. We can talk about Ekenziner. I think that's the
Yeah.
only one more that we can talk about.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't have much to say about Ekenziner other than really, really, really solid proof of concept. Really enjoyed it, and like,
Ooh, yeah.
yeah, I mean, I just don't have much negatives to say other than I wish there was like a clear tutorial on like how the gameplay system worked.
I feel like
It's
I
like-
echo those thoughts exactly too. Like I think this is like one hell of a proof of concept, and it can be
definitely.
such a fun game if like expanded upon and like polished. Like it's a great proof of concept. It's everything you want in a proof of concept. Like yeah, sure it's rough around the edges. Sure, like you kind of had to figure out how to like, I don't know, play through the game, but like once you did, it was quite simple, honestly, if I'm being like,
Yeah.
and I thought it was really cool, really fun.
Yeah.
I did think now that I'm
Genuinely,
like trying to
getting
remember.
hyped for this game.
I'm trying to remember, but like I think my main issue was with the game was there was heavy exposition. I can speak. Like in 2 or 3 points throughout the game, and that was the only dialogue. It was like a block of 5 minutes of dialogue, gameplay, then block of 5 to 10 minutes of dialogue, and then end game.
I don't know if I. Yeah, I didn't feel that way when I played it, but I can understand why someone would feel that way.
I'll just have to see when I play it myself.
Yeah.
Because it looks interesting, and it's been on my radar, but I knew it was probably going to be another short game where I wouldn't be able to dedicate an entire stream to it.
No. Not really. But who needs to dedicate an entire stream to a video game? That's a loser
Yeah,
talk.
I mean, I accidentally was it Rhapsody or was it Peppermint last week where I jumped into Minecraft really quick before I started playing the game.
I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about.
At the start of one of my
it's Peppermint.
last week, it was Peppermint. Okay. I ADHD'd really hard, and someone from one of my Minecraft servers was talking about something in our Minecraft server. So I jumped in there real quick, tried to do a thing, and then logged off.
That's funny. That's just funny. But no, something like now that I've almost played through all the Game Jam games, one thing that I do appreciate about the Insert Game Jam over the Relic Castle EV Expo Game Jam, it feels more like a proper Game Jam than the EV Expo ones do. If that makes sense. Not like a spin in the face of the EV Expo Game Jams. Help me become what I am.
I think
now,
they represent different things.
Yeah.
And I don't know. The way I would classify a real game jam is like 48 hours over the weekend, make a game. Like that's what a real game jam is. And it's meant to be like very experimental and whatnot. And like, yeah, I would say the Insert Name Jam represents that idea more than like the EV Expo Game Jam does. But with the EV Expo Game Jam, I think you get, I don't know, generally more like a more polished product due to the larger dev team and more development time. So like they represent two very different things. And
Definitely.
and like I do like seeing the difference between them.
And there is a difference between them. They are not the same thing.
Yeah.
Even if there are some people who might think so.
Yeah, there may be some people who think so. Which, like, even though, like, it is kind of funny, like, I do somewhat understand it. Mainly because of EV Expo promoting it at the front of their website.
Yeah.
For a good while. So I can understand why someone would think that, but... Nope, they're not. But yeah, I don't think we can talk about any other Insert Name Jam games without... Yeah, because all the other ones that we could talk about I haven't played yet. Or we've already talked about.
Time for us to get playing.
I mean, technically Ranger Star, but you know.
I was about to say, and by us, I mean probably mostly me, but...
Yeah. Well, I guess, Kane, you weren't here last episode, so do you want to talk about the Pokemon Legends ZA cover art? That got revealed
I gotta be honest,
randomly on Wednesday?
didn't even see it. I just found out the other day that it has a release date. So
Yeah,
I'm
did
actually
kind of
currently
show
going
it.
to look up the cover art right now. Yeah.
I mean, the cover art did reveal a kind of big character that will now be showing up in the game.
Was that Emma? I know that you guys
Yeah.
talked about. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's cool. I do like.
And it also led me into going full speculatory mode by thinking, like, the rivals are gonna be in the Looker Bureau with Emma, because they have, like, similar jackets. Especially
Yeah.
the little strap at the top of their sleeve. Well, but, like, also something I appreciate about the cover art is it's not just picture of Zygarde across a white background, and then they went, okay,
Yeah.
Yeah.
we got our cover art.
Which they definitely could have if they decided to.
Yeah.
I mean, they could have, but I'm very glad they didn't because it's a very... lazy way to do a cover? I don't know how to phrase it.
Yeah, you can do more than just a
Yeah.
white background and cover art legendary.
And it also helps signify that this game isn't, like, played as, like, a normal Pokemon game. It helps distinguish itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I'm guessing is the main reason why they chose to do something else with the cover art, was to mainly distinguish it.
Yeah.
I don't think there's been... I mean, there's the Pokemon Odyssey news, but I think we've already talked about that.
Yeah. I can talk about how I got early access to the game.
Briefly...
Sure.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. Because I was... Because I played the last beta. The devs gave me a pre-release version. I could play it on stream if I wanted to. Turns out I'm just very busy and have other games to play on stream before, but I still wanted to cover it a little bit, so I decided to just make a short about it. I might make some other shorts depending on whether or not I have the time and energy to do so. Because there's a lot of really cool things. I haven't played through the game, but what?
There's not Overworld Shadows.
It's a ROM hack. It's a Gen 3 ROM hack.
Okay, I've seen Gen 3 ROM hacks have Overworld Shadows before. That's no longer an excuse.
It's a Gen 3 game, so I don't care. Anyways, I think that there's some really cool things, and with the download came documentation. And I was, you know, going through the documentation, and there were some really cool things in there. So, yeah, I'm very excited to maybe make another short on that. But we'll see.
Nice. I still have not played Flux Episode 2.
Same.
No, I haven't either.
There's so much I need to play. I need to play Flux Episode 2. I now need to play Deltarune Chapter 3 and 4. And that
Y'all see that the Lux Diablo
Yeah,
worked
was
on
that?
Yeah, I was gonna
Deltarune?
talk
Lore
about
drops
that.
came out of nowhere.
You guys didn't know that?
No!
No.
Yeah?
Like, I just happened to see it, what was it, last night?
Yeah?
I mean, I think I
Where
knew it
he's
before
just casually,
then.
like,
Because I think he posted earlier, it's like, oh yeah, there's this little game called Deltarune that I'm working on that had this trailer release, so you may want to check that out. And I'm like, oh, probably just did like a little bit of something. And he's just like, oh yeah, I totally worked on Deltarune. I helped with like, I wrote this one line of dialogue.
No.
Or no, I think my first response when I saw the previous message was I thought it was a joke when he promoted Deltarune. That's what I thought.
He's on the forum staff, so I just thought, you know what, he can do whatever he wants. If he's gonna advertise something, he just can. So I wouldn't doubt if he just made a silly haha. But then I looked in general chat, it's like, oh, huh? You mean... I saw a couple people calling it some level of nepotism, because he knew a guy that was working on the game, and they were able to get him on.
Ah, that explains it. Gosh darn nepotism.
Where would we be without it?
I don't want to call
I
it
wouldn't be
nepotism.
anywhere different.
Lux is very talented.
Well, yes.
I like
Saying this tongue in cheek, of course.
like the last game that I think has had a release, like last fan game that's had a release that Lux has worked on was Bushido.
Yeah.
So, and
That
he
was a
was
long time
like,
ago, wasn't it?
it was a long time ago, and he was in like high school
Because-
at the time. He's what,
Yeah.
been through a few years of college at this point, like.
At least.
Well, yeah, but not
I know
everyone
he's
goes
very
from
talented.
college in game design to working on freaking Deltarune. That's not a typical career trajectory.
Yeah, and that's how you know, because he has done that he's going places.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, another thing actually that I did see now, looking in the EV Expo bulletin board, looks like EV Expo is working again on the Challenge of the Week stuff.
Oh, you guys, it's so good. You guys have no idea. No idea. There's some
Can
other.
we have an idea?
Well, I think the same. I mean, it's still going to be like Challenge of the Week. It's not gonna like that format, I think, isn't going to change, but it's gonna be a lot bigger, more impressive. There's a lot of like really cool assets that that we've been working on. So it's gonna be like a really cool thing.
Oh, so this is like Challenge of the Week is coming back, not so much they are working on, because the last time they did it, they said they were going to make content around like certain submissions for Challenge of the Week, and that
There's going to be
fell
content
through.
on it. There's
And
going
so
to be
I
content
was
on it.
assuming that it was just they were just making the content for those Challenge of the Weeks, but based on what you're saying, it sounds like they're bringing back the weeks in general with new submissions. Am I correct with that?
I would
or-
assume so. I don't want to like speculate too much because I'm not like super in tune with what's going on, but let me just tell you, the assets that I've seen for Challenge of the Week are really good.
I mean, yeah, there's a little
Forward to
GIF
it.
which looks pretty cool on the
Yeah.
Discord already, so. And then there's also, I'm a little worried that EV Expo, with trying to do a lot of different stuff as of late, with, I mean, it's not a secret that the recent EV Expo presentation had a troubled production. And I'm just worried with EV Expo trying to do even more stuff if they were going to be able to handle that, because there was the announcement of like the award show. And then also trying to do this Challenge of the Week with what you're saying is a lot of cool assets. I'm a little worried, but optimistic.
I don't want to like spoil and talk about the behind the scenes stuff, but
Well, yeah.
I think that's not going to be a problem.
Okay, that's good to hear.
I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to see what kind of creativity this ends up bringing out of this already very creative community.
Definitely. Is there any other like fan game news that I'm missing that's come out in the last week? 'Cause I feel like it's slowed down. There was like a little bit there where like a lot of stuff was coming like back to back to back to back, and I feel like it's back to slowing down a little bit.
May was a
If you're
big
playing
one.
Pokemon Flux, you can claim a normal poison type chemical until the end of June. I'm looking at the Pokemon fan game news Twitter.
Yeah, Elle has started working on another
all they've
project.
shared lately. She has. I'm looking forward to it.
Which means, you know, it's another Monday.
That's mean. That's mean.
No, I did the same thing. It's
Even if it might have a little bit of truth in there. You know? I felt attacked there.
Sorry, Elle, if that was mean, but
I did see where she's working on Perfect Blue. I almost said Purple Blue.
oh wait,
with how
are
colorblind
those
I am,
shadows
sometimes-
underneath people? Oh no, I'm starting to feel guilty now.
Is Elle making a Gen 1 game with overworld shadows?
Well, because let me show you. There's a little screenshot of someone walking, and that's a shadow underneath a person. Like, I'm not making this up. That's a little shadow.
Yeah, I think that is a little shadow.
Okay, Elle, I
Might be a
retracted
Gen 1
anything I said earlier. I'm very happy to see you working on a new project. I said nothing. No one can prove anything.
Delete the footage. Delete the footage.
Delete it. This podcast episode doesn't need to be released. We can just scrap the whole thing.
Nah,
Yeah, we'll be good.
just take 45 minutes, rant about something, and upload it as an episode of
Yeah?
Hisui.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we've done that before.
We have.
More than once, too. But hey, we've always released something every week.
Somehow.
I have no idea how we've done that.
For over a year.
Oh god.
Still blows my mind. Except for the 2-week holiday break we got.
That's true.
But yeah, unless I'm missing anything, I think that's all of the Pokemon fan game news.
I think so.
I mean, there's other news for other stuff, but I think people would care to hear my thoughts on that. But yeah, I do apologize for next episode. I'll let you guys in the podcast and audience know. I give it a 50-50 shot if I show up. Cause I'm gonna be at college orientation Monday, driving back Thursday. And we record
Well, that's
on
great, because I'm
Thursdays.
always a 50-50
So-
shot to be in a podcast episode anymore.
We really are gonna have just okay.
We might have another
what's my
Blue
topic
episode.
Oh my god, what am I doing?
No, you can just rant about Ranger Star in EP mode for 50 minutes. Make a battle strategy to raid Recreek's house.
Tempting. What's really tempting? Especially, people are going to take me serious. People are definitely going to take me seriously if I'm using the stick figure model.
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely.
Y'all are going to get 2 weeks of stick figure ETH because why not? I know everyone likes the full big guy with the toggles and the coffee cup and everything, but
But stick figure.
why not 2 weeks of stick figure?
Yeah.
I paid $15 for this.
You
I'm
need to get your
still
money
blown
back
away.
for it.
I really do. Not money back, money's worth.
Yes, that's the phrase. But yeah, so that'll wrap up this episode. Next week, we're going to talk about Ranger Star, Ethy.
Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna talk about Ranger Star, and maybe wrap up talking about the Eastern Name games? Maybe?
Probably.
Hopefully.
We'll see.
And
One way to
yeah.
find out. Unless I end up having to do another solo episode.
You can just talk about all the insert name jam games in like 10 minutes and then rant about something else for the rest of the episode.
That works.
Alright, so yeah, we'll see you all then. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.